On the morning of March 20th, an explosion occurred at the plant of Hongqi Biotechnology in Xiangcheng, Henan. The blast was so powerful that the factory building was nearly destroyed, with thick smoke and flames visible at the scene. There was an explosion, and the glass shattered. Just after 11 a.m., it suddenly went off. There was a loud noise, and then there was an explosion. A video shows the industrial park's factory almost completely obliterated, with thick smoke and flames at the scene. Photos circulating online revealed that the workshop where the explosion occurred has been leveled, leaving only a pile of ashes behind. Local residents reported that despite being several kilometers away from the industrial park, the glass in their homes was shattered. Images show shattered glass and debris scattered in the yard of a residential home, with cracks appearing on the walls.
Did you hear that? All the glass in my house shattered. I was sitting right here, and the broken glass fell right onto my head. It scared me to death. Oh my gosh, all the glass outside shattered. This is Hongqi Biotech pharmaceutical factory. A huge explosion happened here today.
Some people shared their experiences in the comments section. Glass within a few kilometers was shattered, and it happened around 11 a.m., and it seems like a dozen people are dead, with dozens more injured. Glass shattered for miles. One person posted a video claiming that the explosion destroyed their home, with glass shards covering the ground. A commenter from Linquan Anhui said despite being nearly 20 kilometers away from the explosion, they still heard a loud noise. One resident said all the glass in their house was shattered, and they were injured by flying glass shards. A worker from a nearby company stated that the explosion affected most of the surrounding factories, but the situation is still unclear, with investigations underway. According to available information, Hongqi Biotechnology in Xiangcheng, Henan, was established in 2014 with a registered capital of 100 million yuan and employs around 30 people. The company mainly engages in production and sales of pesticides. Business records show that the company is involved in multiple lawsuits related to land use rights and contract disputes. In May 2024, Hongqi Biotechnology was penalized for illegally discharging wastewater. Additionally, tax records indicate that the company currently owes 280,000 yuan in taxes. Sources report that the explosion occurred during working hours and that several other manufacturing companies are located near the chemical plant. Some individuals with inside knowledge revealed that a clothing factory near the chemical plant was also affected, with the building deformed and collapsed, resulting in numerous injuries. Emergency vehicles were seen taking the injured away. Residents living near the pesticide factory told the media that the explosion was severe, and they were fortunate to be outside at the time. One resident recounted hearing a loud noise and later discovering that the balcony glass in their home was shattered, with cracks in the walls. They said, "This is a situation in every nearby household. My family members weren't injured. Luckily, as they had gone to work, it was terrifying." They also mentioned that the area surrounding the factory was sealed off by the police, and emergency vehicles continued to arrive until 5 p.m. They added, "There's a tank nearby. We don't know if it will explode again." More concerning was the unbearable smell in the air, indicating the leakage of toxic gases. A nearby village had already been evacuated due to smoke blowing in their direction. However, the evacuation was not coordinated by the government, and people had to find shelter with relatives or at hotels. The residents said they and their family planned to leave the village and stay with relatives for a couple of days. According to an official report, the accident had left 3 people missing and 4 injured. The fire has been extinguished and rescue operations are ongoing. The cause of the explosion is under investigation. However, the official casualty figures have been widely questioned, with some online sources reporting that the actual number is significantly higher. Other reports indicate that at least 17 people had passed away and 41 have been injured. A local villager under the pseudonym Wang Kai told overseas media that the factory was completely destroyed by the explosion and the number of casualties can be easily imagined. He said ambulances kept arriving and it's likely that dozens of people were injured. He also mentioned this is an industrial park with many factories. A clothing factory next to the pesticide plant was also affected. Think about the size of the explosion. Many workers were there, hundreds of people, so it's reasonable to assume dozens were injured. Other villagers reported that more than 40 people were injured, but were advised not to report it. A source revealed that the safety incident at Hongqi pesticide factory was not an isolated case. A fire had occurred on March 15, and just 5 days later, another incident took place. On March 15, a vlogger captured footage of a fire at Hongqi Biotech Pharmaceutical Factory.
大家好啊，这是红旗生物制药厂。
Hello everyone, this is Hongqi Biotech Pharmaceutical Factory. There's a fire inside right now. They produce pesticides there, and every night they release some gases that stink and irritate the nose. This factory is really close to our village, just separated by one road. Their drainage system is also bad. They just discharge everything into the Sha River through the sewer, and they don't have any fire safety equipment. Every night they release poisonous gases, and it makes life unbearable for us. We've reported this to the higher authorities and even called to report it, but no one has come to solve the problem. The factory is so close to the village. We all know inhaling these toxic gases isn't good for our health, but no one has taken action. No one is addressing this. And then something like this happens today. Now there's a fire. If there are pesticides and toxic gases inside and they get released, isn't it the end for our village? Isn't it the end for all of us? Look, the fire inside is already out, but we are really scared of this. They make pesticides inside, and it's almost the same as dealing with toxic gases.
On the same day, a factory on Industrial Park Road 2, Henan Town, Zhejiang Province, suddenly caught fire. The video that was shared shows intense flames at the scene. The cause of the fire is still unknown. The video shows flames pouring from the windows and roof, burning fiercely with thick smoke. Authorities reported that by the afternoon, the fire had been extinguished and there were no casualties. On the morning of March 15, a traffic accident occurred on the Qingyin Expressway in Shanxi Province's Luliang section, involving multiple vehicles. The video shows a semi-truck on fire, emitting thick black smoke. Around 1 p.m., a local driver told reporters that when he passed the area near the expressway, the flames had been extinguished. However, there was heavy traffic, with vehicles exiting the highway to avoid congestion, causing further delays on local roads. The driver also mentioned that snow had fallen the previous night, causing ice on the roads. As a result of the accident, the entrance to the Xuangongling Tunnel on the Taiyuan-bound side was closed, and all vehicles from Taiyuan to Jundu were diverted at the Fenyang West toll station. Several other highway entrances were also closed, and drivers were forced to take detours. Sources revealed that a couple in their 90s rear-ended a small car, followed by a truck carrying goods that collided and caught fire. The fire quickly spread to other vehicles. According to reports, 5 trucks and 2 cars were burned. The couple's car was trapped in the middle, and both were killed when they were unable to escape. The specific cause of the accident is still under investigation. Local authorities initially reported 2 fatalities, but there has been no further update from the government, raising concerns about the transparency of the situation. On March 12, a large fire broke out on a big screen at Times Square in Yangji City, Jilin Province. Online users said the fire was extinguished in just a few minutes. One commenter said, "Did they not settle the workers' wages?" On the afternoon of March 11, a biotechnology company in Taizhou, Jiangsu Province, suddenly exploded, setting purple smoke into the air. A social media user posted a video claiming that a powerful explosion occurred in an industrial park in Taizhou, Jiangsu. The blast sounded like thunder, and windows 2 kilometers away were shaking. The video shows thick purple smoke rapidly rising from the site after the explosion. Some users claimed that when they passed by the area, the smoke appeared just 2 seconds after the explosion. Others said they quickly deleted the video after posting it, claiming that the leaders didn't allow it. According to local authorities, at 3:30 p.m. on March 11, a blast occurred at Jiangsu Hongqi Biotechnology, resulting in 4 fatalities and 4 injuries. The report also stated that environmental monitoring confirmed the accident had not caused secondary effects on the surrounding area. However, many online users expressed doubt. One user commented, "Look at that smoke, it's purple. How can they say it didn't have an impact? That thick purple smoke rising, it felt like a roar from nature itself. How could it not affect the surroundings? No one believes it's not toxic. There must be an effect, but they'll claim there isn't. There's a strong demand to not have chemical zones near ports. They're dangerous, toxic, and waste is poorly managed, which harms health. On the morning of March 8th, a factory on Pearl River Road in the Xiangcheng Economic Development Zone, Hebei, was rocked by a massive explosion, sending a white mushroom cloud into the sky. Witnesses reported hearing 2 loud blasts. Firefighters and medical personnel arrived at the scene, and nearby roads were sealed off. According to an official report, the explosion occurred at Huachan Machinery Processing in Qinhuangdao's Economic and Technological Development Zone. The dust explosion injured 20 people. At the time of the incident, 58 people were working on site, primarily engaged in aluminum alloy wheel hub grinding and polishing. The report indicated that based on on-site investigations, the likely cause of the explosion was an ignition source from damp aluminum alloy dust in the dust collection system, static electricity inside the bag dust collector, or high-temperature sparks generated during grinding. These triggered an explosion in the dust collection system. The blast wave and flames spread back into the workshop, causing burns to workers. Additionally, on March 18, loud unexplained sounds were reported in Hubei, Henan, and Anhui provinces, causing widespread concern. However, the authorities did not provide an explanation until 2 days later. Over the years, mysterious loud noises have been reported in various regions across China, with no explanation from the authorities. On March 18, reports emerged from Hebei, Henan, and Anhui of unexplained loud noises. In the cities of Lu'an and Anhui, and Kanzhou and Hebei, the sounds were accompanied by ground vibrations. A user commented and said, "At the time, my balcony glass was shaking. It really scared me. I remember a few years ago, there was something similar in Kanzhou. The glass was rattling then too. Maybe it was a new weapon test." For an event that causes widespread disruption to the public, the organization responsible should notify people in a timely manner. Otherwise, emergency management departments should open an investigation. Local authorities did not respond to the reports. Media outlets mentioned that since this year, the Earthquake Bureau in Tongling, Anhui, has repeatedly monitored loud noises covering the entire city, accompanied by tremors. After analyzing the sound waveform data, the Earthquake Bureau ruled out natural earthquakes and mine explosions, tentatively concluding that the sounds were likely due to high-altitude sonic booms. A sonic boom typically refers to the explosive sound produced when an aircraft exceeds the speed of sound, creating shock waves that reach the ground. However, Tongling authorities did not confirm this conclusion, and the matter was left unresolved. Many online users have expressed skepticism about the Tongling Earthquake Bureau's explanation, saying, "How could a sonic boom cover such a wide area? Is the ground secretly being hollowed out? A high-altitude sonic boom couldn't affect so many areas and cities. How many times has this happened?" Some users suggested, "The sounds are no longer from fighter jets. It's the approach of an earthquake. There might be a major earthquake in the next year or two." In past reports, on March 3, 2023, residents of Bozhou and Anhui heard several loud noises in the early morning, which were suspected to be thunder or an earthquake. However, official responses stated no unusual weather or earthquake warnings were detected. On May 9, 2022, a sudden loud noise in Hangzhou and Xiangcheng became a trending topic, with local meteorologists confirming that no thunder was detected. The Earthquake Bureau also reported no seismic activity. On April 1, 2022, the topic of mysterious loud noises in multiple areas of Sichuan trended on Weibo and Baidu in China. On January 18, 2016, a mysterious loud noise was heard in the urban area of Zhangzhou, Fujian. On July 22, 2014, at around 11 a.m., residents of several areas in the central urban district of Taizhou, Jiangsu, reported hearing a loud noise. Around 11 a.m. on November 5, 2012, a mysterious loud noise was also heard in Taizhou. Even earlier, on January 8, 2009, 3 loud noises were heard in the main urban area of Chongqing, with the sound reaching districts like Yubei, Jiangbei, and Na'an. In all these cases, the authorities have provided no explanation for the sounds. Some explosion incidents in China could be attributed to human actions. On January 26 this year, an explosion occurred at the Dandong Food Mall in Shenyang. Just 3 days earlier, Chinese President Xi Jinping had visited the mall. The authorities have yet to release the cause of the explosion or provide details on casualties. There's an explosion! There's an explosion! Later in March, President Xi Jinping visited Guizhou and Yunnan. Tight security measures were in place wherever he went. Videos circulating online show Xi inspecting Li Jiang, accompanied by a large team of bodyguards. He appeared fatigued, aged, with graying hair, a forced smile, and possibly wearing a bulletproof vest, which made him appear bulkier and caused him to walk slowly. Locals revealed that the small towns Xi visited were almost under martial law, and ordinary residents were restricted in their basic freedom of movement. They were not allowed to take photos, open windows, and even Tesla vehicles were being monitored. Some users outside of China on X commented, "Incompetent in governing, skilled at disturbing the public. It's just a show, disturbing people everywhere. What's he afraid of with all that bulletproof gear? How many layers of bulletproof vest is he wearing? That's so ridiculous. The number of bodyguards following him is overwhelming. All the tourists must be undercover actors." On March 20th, independent commentator Xiangcheng posted on an overseas platform, sharing screenshots from local users, claiming that Xi's inspection of Guizhou involved nearly 1,000 police, market supervisors, tax officers, and armed police officers dressed in plain clothes. They had rehearsed for a week, and the indigenous people of Zhaoxingdong village were relocated to Libo County to simulate residence and stay for a week to familiarize themselves with the area. Ahead of the 2024 National People's Congress and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, the Chinese government released a revised National Emergency Response Plan for Major Emergencies on February 25th, emphasizing social stability, public opinion control, and centralized command. Observers believe that given the worsening economic situation in China and rising social tensions, this plan is likely aimed at preparing for potential large-scale national protests. Political commentator Wang Jian stated in a self-media program that the release of the National Emergency Response Plan reflects the unprecedented challenges China faces this year. Economic deterioration has quickly escalated into serious social problems, putting increasing pressure on local governments. In the context of economic decline and widespread hardship, 2024 saw several indiscriminate attacks, followed by a nationwide investigation targeting people facing unemployment and hardship. On November 14th last year, officials from the Ministry of Public Security confirmed that many individuals have been posting and sharing methods to manufacture firearms and explosives, as well as illegally buying and selling gun parts and explosive materials. The news was widely shared on Douyin, Chinese version of TikTok, and many online users commented, some hinting at potential violent actions against the government. This is telling you the power of guns. If I knew how to make them, I'd mass produce them, but unfortunately, I don't. They become frightened. If everyone has a weapon, will they still dare to bite us? When steamed buns cost 50 yuan each, I'll be giving a speech. Water can carry a boat, but it can also overturn it. Australian-based scholar Yuan Hongbing recently revealed that insiders within the system believe that China's social crisis is transitioning into a political crisis starting in 2024.